that's gone against activist Kirralie Smith, who lost her appeal against a finding that she'd unlawfully vilified two transgender footballers. Now, the posts included photographs of one transgender player, this one biological man, who was playing in a women's football team. Kirralie Smith, who heads the organisation Binary Australia, has argued that her posts were part of her political advocacy and part of public debate when it comes to the protection of women's spaces. I'm pleased to say Kirralie joins me now. Well, Kirralie, it's a tough ruling. What's your initial response to the decision?
Thanks for having me, Peter. Look, of course, disappointment, but I also feel a great deal of peace and resolve because this is a conversation that needs to be had. This is a debate that Australia needs to have, and I'm right. No human can change sex, and I'm quite confident in my position.
Many would argue, and I do too, that this was a statement of scientific fact of biology. So what does this say about your right, our right, to free speech in this country?
Well, we don't have free speech in this country, and it even goes beyond free speech to truth speech. Men cannot be women, and women do deserve sex-based services, sports. We deserve our sex-based rights. There are certain instances in society where in change rooms, on the sporting field, and different environments where women really do need those sex protections. And basically what my case has shown, what other cases have shown in Australia like Sal Grover, is that women have been effectively erased from law. We don't have those protections, yet men who want to appropriate womanhood or want to identify as women have far more protections than we do. And I think that that's outrageous. And as I said, it is a debate that we need to have. And if they're so confident that they're women, let's have the debate, prove it.
So what do you say to the critics who argue that you were targeting an individual here unnecessarily? What's your response to that?
I did not target any individuals. I took information that was in the public domain posted by the sporting organisations themselves. I took that publicly available information and asked what I think are very reasonable questions that not just myself but many other Australians are asking, and that is, why are men in women's sport? They want to see the examples. They want the evidence that this is actually happening. The evidence was in the public domain and I simply reshared it. And, we've all seen the images overseas, of Leah Thomas or Iman Khalif, the males in women's sport. And as you know, an image is worth 1,000 words. And what's happened here in Australia is effectively we've been told you cannot use examples, you cannot provide the evidence, you cannot speak about individual cases. And there's also been a strong chilling effect on those girls who do have to play against these male players, that they can't call them out, they can't oppose it, and if they do, they will suffer the same fate that I have.
Yeah, look, it's fascinating to me because if you look at how this has played out over the last few years around the world, well, the debate's shifted very quickly. You've got the Olympic Association, you've got swimming organisations everywhere, globally, now holding fast that women's biology is the determinant for participation in women's sport. So the backflips have happened right across the board. Look at Sophie Cunningham, look at what's happening in the UK there about sex-based rights, now protected in law. Why do you think Australia is such a laggard?
Oh, look, we can only speculate, but it seems that, in the highest ranks, there's such a capture, and there's been a really clever move to, use people like me as an example to then create that chilling effect for others not to speak out, because it is very obvious. We've had male and female divisions in sport for a reason, because there are differences that need to be protected. And for whatever reason, the activists have been very successful in the policy guidelines and also in the legal area to make sure that this debate cannot be had, that examples cannot be used, and that women, we must be silenced and we must suffer the consequences.
Look, I'm conscious that these legal actions cost many hundreds of thousands of dollars, and so too are my viewers. They're alive to that. Where to now for you, Kirralie?
Consulting with my legal team this week, I believe there are avenues of appeal. They, of course, will be expensive, but so is a $95,000 damages payment. So I will continue as the spokeswoman of Binary. I will not change my mind that men can be women, and we will continue to raise money. We're fundraising for the legal action at binary.org.au/donate. It's very expensive to continue this legal action, to pay the damages, to raise the awareness, but it is absolutely essential, because this isn't just about me, Peter. This is about all women and girls in Australia. It's about all people in Australia. And if we don't have the right and the ability to speak freely and truthfully about these situations, it doesn't bode well for other situations either.
Well, powerfully said. I know this has been a huge personal toll on you, but you've got a smile on your face, haven't you? You're determined to fight, and I, for one, will back you all the way. Kirralie, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, Peter.